Today marks 1 year of daily driving this beautiful Jeep SRT. This is literally one of the craziest cars I have owned and literally one of the most fun cars I've ever driven to this date. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, everything I went through this car in literally a year. So I'm gonna keep it real transparent with y'all. So let's get straight into the video. So how did we get here? I didn't just walk into a dealership, give them a fat load of fucking cash and just say, here, I want this car. No, I wish it was that easy. I'm sorry, but it wasn't. It took me about 2 years to find the right sugar plum for me. You know what I'm saying? It's my sugar plum. You know, she's called me a headache. But let me slow down. We're gonna rewind. So it took me about 2 years to find this car. There's been a lot of sellers online, not just dealerships, but online as well, that either online the pictures will look good, in person the car will look shitty, or just the sellers just totally just ghosting me in general. It's like a sad version of a dating app, to be honest with you. Like it's actually tragic, but this scenario with this car was a lot more like more of a letdown for me. When I finally found this car, it wasn't even local, so I had to take a chance, fly out to another state, and pray to God that the seller did not switch his mind, change his mind, any of that, and sell it to somebody else, or even just change his mind and not want to sell the car anymore. As you guys can see, it turned out real well. Handed him over a check after test driving the car, and boom, I was on my way back home. For y'all that are new to the channel, go watch my video of me buying this car. It will be somewhere, maybe linked in this on the top of this video somewhere. Go watch it. It was a good video. I still drive her like the first day I got her, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Beautiful. Love her. So, you may be wondering, what is it like to daily drive this car? And let me tell you, from a guy that was daily driving a coupe every single day, this is like, it's like me, I'm driving a mansion at this point, to be keep it a whole stack with y'all. It is amazing. You could fit groceries in here. You could fit a whole TV in here. You could fit luggage in here. It's so easy. You have so much more space compared to a coupe. It's like night and day difference. When you hit that start button, it's like music to my ears. Every single morning when I start it up, it literally just gives me a hard on.
Wow, man. Damn.
The car sounds so good, but like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Highway pulls, you don't have to worry about passing anybody. You can do that fairly easily. This is like a fucking freight train on a mission to fucking run something over. I don't know, destroy something. If you see this car coming behind you, just get out of the way. It's that simple. Get out the left lane. But we're gonna proceed and not get into all that talk because people in this area in specific don't know how to fucking drive. Finally free. The best part about this car is the attention it gets on the daily. It doesn't matter if I'm at a parking lot, if I'm at a gas station, if I'm at Walmart, if I'm stopped at a light, somebody will try to talk to me saying, oh, I want to get this car, oh, that car looks tough, whatever the case may be. I feel like sometimes she gets more attention than Blackie Bubble Butt. For y'all that don't know, that's my Infinity. But you feel me? I love it, you know what I'm saying? With her sexy ass.
I am disgusted.
I feel like people give more attention to it because the SUV compared to a coupe. I feel like it's just like, you feel me? I don't know. By now you may be thinking, what about gas mileage? We don't talk about that on the channel. Just know, to have fun, your pockets gotta hurt. As simple as that. Now, I told y'all I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I won't just give you guys all sunshine and rainbows. I've had some struggles with this car. She's been the problem child since basically I picked her up. And there have been problems with dealerships. There's been problems with the car just itself, not dealership's fault, but just the car just getting old, of course. And one of those problems was technically my fault, but not really my fault. It's mainly the city's fault because the city don't know how to drain fucking water.
Oh, calm down, Jamal.
Don't pull out the knife. My fault. I probably look so intimidating to y'all. My fault. I'm sorry. All these issues amounted up to costing me a lot of money to fix. Now, y'all get y'all food, get y'all snacks, buckle up because I'm about to tell y'all a quick little story time. The flood. That's what the story time's called. The flood. So this faithful evening, I was picking up my girlfriend. Of course, it was raining. I was like, okay, I'll drive the Jeep. I don't want to drive the coupe. That's stupid. Why would I drive a rear-wheel drive car if I have an all-wheel drive car? You feel me? It don't make no sense. But anyways, I drove the Jeep. Cool. I was at a stoplight. Probably after the stoplight turned green, probably going about, let's say, 20 to 30 miles per hour. The road looks straight. Listen, you guys can say this is a skill issue. I don't fucking know. The road looked straight, but that road had about 4 to 5 inches of water. That looked still because there was no cars coming my way. I drive over that road going to 30 miles per hour, and as y'all can imagine, it ripped my splitter that I used to have on this car. It's not there anymore. And it ripped all my under tray off of the car as well. Fucked up the wheel lining all around the wheels. Destroyed a lot of stuff. In the end, it amounted to fix all of it. And that's just, I believe, with labor and parts, over $2,500. Next up came the creek. Shortly after that whole flood incident, every time I realized I took a tight turn or even a slight little turn, or even from a stop and just going straight forward, you'll start hearing a creaking sound. So that scared me. I was like, oh fuck, my pocket's already hurting. Now how much I gotta spend, you feel me? I was really like low-key panicking, like, damn, did I get fucked over on Facebook Marketplace after getting this car? Low-key in my head, that's what I was thinking. But anyways, I ended up taking the car to the dealership. They ended up finding that there was a brace or a bracket, I forgot, I think it was a bracket, that worn out, and that was the reason why the creaking sound was occurring. They said to fix everything, it will cost me $300. In hindsight, after spending $2,500, that felt like pocket change to me, and I was happy, I was glad, because as soon as they fixed it, I had no issues whatsoever. Fuck. What are you doing? The next problem that happened was my coolant hose bursting. As y'all can see, it's fixed now. But this happened literally right afterwards. I took the car and they changed that bracket for me that fixed the creaking sound. And one day, literally a day or two after I got the car back and was driving it, I noticed, number one, there was a squealing sound coming from the engine bay. I was like, what the? And then number two, when I hopped out, I saw a whole bunch of puddles underneath my car. So I was like, fuck. There is no way. Bro, I swear to y'all, I thought I had like the worst luck with this car. Like, I think this car just hated me. It just needs to adjust to me. Now she's adjusted, but it's like, you feel me? Everything was going wrong back to back to back. Anyways, what ended up happening, I took it back to the dealership. I was like, yo, y'all just had the car. It was fine. I drove it thousands of miles. As soon as I give you guys a car, my coolant hose is bursting? What's going on? Of course, they didn't want to take responsibility, and I had to pay out my pocket $200-some to get this fixed, which sucked again. But it had to be done because what am I gonna do? Not drive the car? Hell no! Hell no! Now, I want y'all to know, if a dealership screws you over one time, okay, maybe it was just a technician's fault. You feel me? They're not working there anymore. 2 times, now we're pushing the line. But 3 times, nigga, 3 times, 3 times. That's when you have to let it go with a dealership. I'm not gonna get into what I recently got into with them, but just know it had to do with the engine bay again after they were giving me an oil change service, and they ended up just leaving my intake unconnected from my engine. That doesn't make sense, does it? Fuck them. Fuck them niggas. You hear me? Fuck them. The next issue I'm starting to run into, which I noticed recently, sadly, is that the water pump is starting to go bad. For y'all that don't know, it's a common problem for all the Jeep SRTs, the 6.4 liters. where it's like kind of like a little wheelie sound-ish, I guess you can say. Essentially, I called it. I'm gonna play a clip of it here soon, of it running. You guys may or may not be able to hear it, but I know real soon I'm gonna have to get that changed. It's gonna suck because I may have to spend money, but Jeep may have an extended warranty on this and I won't have to pay a dime out of my pocket. So let's cross our fingers and let's pray to God that maybe, you know what I'm saying, they'll cut me some slack, and actually I won't have to pay for this one, because it would be great, you know? Everything is great when it's free, you feel me? Now, a few months have passed, and literally, I thought I was out of it. I thought everything with the car will be just fine. Oh boy, was I wrong? Was I wrong indeed? Yes, I was. I got 2 evap leaks. One was a small, and then I ended up fixing that myself as well. And one was a large evap leak, and I ended up fixing that as well myself. Luckily, listen. This is a learning lesson, not just for me, but for y'all out here that's looking to get a car. If you buy a car, luckily I have money saved. Lots of people like to buy a car and drain out their entire savings. Do not do that. Don't listen to me. Don't do that. Because just like in my scenario, if you use all your money and you don't have nothing to fix the car, if something's wrong a few months later, you're fucked. You feel me? You're fucked. Even though I went through all these hardships, you feel me, money-wise, especially with these evap leaks, because I did it myself, I didn't have to pay for labor. Those cost me around roughly $60 to fix. I'm not even gonna get into it in this video. I'm gonna have a video posted, if not by now, later, of me fixing those evap codes. So stay tuned and watch that video too. If you might as well, if you're here at this point. Side note, I know y'all eating food right now. Comment down below what type of food y'all eating. You know, my camera woman, she would love to know, because she's a food connoisseur, as you can say. Just let me know in the comments down below. Finally, I almost forgot. This is very minor at this point. The carbon trim. This last winter, it has been really cold. And of course, cold weather is not good for this carbon trim, because some of it is starting to unstick itself, as you can say. And some of it's starting to kind of crack inside here. All along here, you can see a little bit of cracking. I don't know if y'all be able to see in the video in the carbon trim, but it's a minor flaw detail wise. I'm gonna get it fixed. The carbon, you could get the carbon trim and the adhesive and all that stuff online for about $30. I plan on doing it myself. Not a major issue. Out of everything I've mentioned in this video thus far, it's the least of my problems, I can say. At this point, as of the time I'm recording, that is all of the issues in the span of 1 year that I've had with the Jeep SRT. Do I regret it? Hell no. I would have still bought the car again. At this point, I would have still bought the car again if I didn't have the car, because you can't pass up the power, the everything, bro. Like, it's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, this car is amazing. And this SUV is very practical. I love grocery shopping in this car. I can't in the coupe. Well, I can in the coupe, but it's just, you feel me? Why if I got a, you know what I'm saying? If I got an SUV, you feel me? Why would I go grocery shopping in the coupe? That don't make no sense, you feel me? So now let's do the math, a breakdown of how much money I've spent. So $2,500 for the front bumper, repainting it, all of that stuff, all the stuff that got damaged underneath. We spent $300 on the bracing. We spent another $200 on the coolant hose that had to get fixed. We spent another $30. Well, we will spend another $30 on the carbon trim and the adhesives needed to stick it back on. We spent $60 on the evap code leaks, and we'll need to spend another roughly, hopefully we don't have to, but $600 to get the water pump changed for the engine itself. Hopefully warranty covers it, so I won't have to spend out of my pocket, but we will see. About 70% of all that was spent was all due to a freak accident. So technically, if that freak accident didn't happen, I would spend roughly $1,100, let's say, probably in damages or whatever I had to get fixed, mechanical, I guess you can say. Once again, will I get this car if I was given a chance to? If I never had it, Hell yes, I would, because number one, my dick gets hard every morning when I hear it start up.
What did he say?
Number two, the car is just fast. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Number three, it's just all about, life is all about experience, and this was just a big learning experience for me. I went about it the right way, saved money. Y'all should too. Learn from everything I told y'all right now. I'm kind of like putting y'all on, because if y'all looking to get a Jeep SRT, expect to get problems. Expect the unexpected, so that you won't be basically down, or, you know what I'm saying, sad. I ain't gonna lie, I did not expect the unexpected. That shit caught me like a freight train. I just got hit with out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? You feel me? But at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all for watching this video fully through. That was just my rundown of a year ownership on this car. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it was a little bit entertaining for y'all. If y'all were entertained, y'all mess with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel while you're at it. You might as well comment down below. Share this to your moms. Maybe not your moms. That's a little bit weird. Share it to one of your friends, your brother, your sister. You feel me? And let's grow this family. We're gonna have more POV content. I might have some nice angles for the POV. I got some nice stuff I want to get for them, great angles for the POV of driving this car and the Infiniti. So if y'all like car content and just hearing me yap, subscribe, okay? But on that note, I'm gonna call it done.
Shut up, bitch.
I don't really care about nada. Young nigga popping a collar. She can be burn like a scholar. Might shoot it up, but I won't be a father. Had a hoe popping a pill. She see me popping a pill. Shit like you know that addiction is real. Don't give a fuck, I just like how...
Stop laughing.
Okay.
You have to be a quiet cameraman.
I'm a fucking woman.
Even a stoplight, I'll always get compliments.
Stop sign.